the support if they are part of similar groups, so we can move on to
everyone. My name is Anna Conference, and today I will just outline the process of foundation. This process has changed drastically since the pandemic. So we step out our license constitution throughout this process. So first we start from the last blood drive, and then I'll create an appointment form. This is the form that we use. I will then confirm the appointment via WhatsApp and then cancel this upon bonus. Then I'll make a WhatsApp group. And finally, after the blood drive, I'll send out the time to feedback and then post pictures Facebook and Instagram. So starting with the feedback form, this is a form that is sent out at the end of every blood drive, and it's a Google form. The questions really involve donors indicating their satisfaction with the appointment process, the screening process, the donation, post-donation, and just their overall satisfaction. We also have been outlining the practices of the COVID protocols since the COVID-19 pandemic started. They also indicate their willingness to complete at the next blood drive, and they have an opportunity to give anonymously any comments, questions, or suggestions. Next, the appointment form. This is just a chance for the donor to make their appointment. They give them the demographics, contact information. They state what time they will be available. This is 1 hour between the 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. blood drive. And they also indicate if they are the donor or if they have donated before at our blood drives. This will help us to get their donor card so that when they come on the day, we can already have it available and it's easier for them to proceed straight to the screening process afterwards. They also indicate things like if they have mobile data, transport, if they donate with a family member or friend, and these questions help us again to make the process smoother for them. And again, any issues or questions that they have, We try to address these before the blood drive day, and this prevents referrals for donors to come in. At least they will know the eligibility criteria before they come to donate on the day. This way, they won't have to be turned away on the day of the blood drive. Right, this is an example of the Facebook page that I create. Normally we start planning these blood drives 1 month in advance. So we'll create the Facebook page, try to send it out into the WhatsApp group by emails to try to raise as much awareness for the event as possible. Then I'll schedule the emails. On average, I schedule about 8 emails over that month. And these are the points that I will outline in the emails. I'll outline the requirements for blood donation, key points, and make sure that the donors know exactly what the blood donation process involves. And I'll also take the opportunity to try to get some volunteers to come on the day and just outline the roles volunteers in the next slide for things like professional distribution. And also the day I'll give reminders to a reminder to bring their ID card and bill, drinking up water, have a good meal before they come to donate. These things that if they did before, at least the process will be smoother for them on the day itself. Right, so these are the different roles for volunteers. And we have different coordinators because of the COVID-19 pandemic. We've had to find a way to reduce crowding in waiting area. So we have people who would respond to donors when they arrive in the complex. If the donor is coming via vehicle, they will wait in their car in the car park of Monto, and they will indicate in the WhatsApp group, which I will have created the day before, that they have arrived in Monto. Then one of the coordinators will look in the waiting room and see if there's any space in the waiting area for the donor to come in. Normally you try to limit this to 5 donors in the waiting room, right? Once there's space in the waiting area, we will let the donor know they could come in and they will start the process of registering and screening. If there isn't any space, then we just let them know to pull on their cards until there's space, and then they could come in. Again, this is mainly because of the COVID-19 pandemic, wanted to reduce exposure and the amount of people in the donation center. Right, we also have volunteers to distribute refreshments, water, anything that the donors need to make them feel comfortable. And also we give out the voluntary donor cards. These are not chips, not anything that the donor can use to get back blood at any point. We make sure that they understand that it's a completely voluntary process. This is just a card that they fill out all the time, and just a record for them to know that they came on that day to donate blood. And we have a photographer, a volunteer who comes, takes pictures, and after the blood drive, we post these pictures to Facebook and Instagram just to raise awareness for the next future blood drive. Right, this is the Google Sheets that I use to coordinate the flow of donors. So before the blood drive, I would insert all the donor names for people who need appointments in the pre-registered donors column. When they arrive at the center, I'll put their time of arrival, and then once there's space for them to come in, we move their name into the registered column. Then, as they go to screen, we move it into the screening and then donation column. And that's how we will go for each donor. Again, to try to make the process smooth. Right? So finally, as I said, I would message every donor who makes an appointment and let them know that it's the time that they are registered for. Sometimes they want to change the time, we try to change it to make it whatever they comfortable with. The day before, I will print out the list of donors. If they donated before, I will try to indicate the last time that they donated. This will make it helpful for the clerks at the donation center to try to find the card again before the day so that everything will be ready on the day. Right? Then I'll make you WhatsApp group. I'll add everyone, all the donors, functions, everybody to the WhatsApp group so they know that that is the group that we'll be using to communicate with them on the day. Then we'll send you one feedback form. So I'll send it via the email and as well as on WhatsApp, and also let them know this is the amount of things that we achieved to collect at the blood drive, and thanking them and let them have an opportunity to give feedback. Then we post the pictures to Facebook and Instagram. Okay. So this table just shows the data that we have, the amount of things that we have collected for each blood drive. The last blood drive was on the 7th of September. That was our 25th blood drive. And we collected 101 pins. This is the most that we have gotten since the COVID-19 pandemic. Okay, so we're going to give some time. Okay, so that comes to the end of my presentation. Thank you very much for your attention. If anyone has any questions, please ask.
Thank you very much, Dr. Lipu. It's a very well organized operation. Thank you for your time and your words. Next up, we're going to have a representative from the Transfusion Red Cross, Ms. Kelly Philip. I would like to invite her to the podium to share her views on voluntary donation.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I address you on top. Instruct what a voluntary non-remunerated blood operation. Why are we responsible to ensure blood first? The TTSHBT in its operation is committed for the government in the administration and in the blood program. Voluntary donors are recognized as patient donors because they are motivated by actual value, the desire to help others, and by the sense of moral duty for social responsibility. In a well-organized blood donor program, voluntary donors, in particular regular donors, are well informed of the donor selection criteria and are more likely to tell the truth if they are no longer eligible. The aim is to create blood donation through promotion and awareness. The Trinidad State Red Cross Society has supported and will continue to support the government's blood program and the promotion. We have what World Blood Donor and implementing club-side programs through youth and schools. We aspire, however, to develop our support to the government's blood program as we seek to become more engaged in the systematic recruitment of blood donors. In this regard, we are hoping that through partner with the blood bank program, guests will be able to acquire a wide unit for blood collection to complement our routine. The TTSHBT stands ready to support government in the achievement of 100% voluntary non-remunerated blood donation and welcome relevant partnerships and the pooling of resources for the accomplishment of this. We thank the Ministry of Health, the Society of Hematology and Blood Transfusion, and the UB Faculty of Medical Sciences for including us on this show. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much. As a representative of the Transfusion Records, we look forward to partnering with you in the future. So next on the agenda, here at the segment that is from donor to patient, it's a review of the blood donation process. It's a section that is in 4 parts with 4 different speakers. I would like to introduce our first speaker, Dr. Carolyn Mirage. She will be reviewing the screening questionnaire. Dr. Carolyn Mirage graduated from the University of the West Indies, Mona campus, and is currently completing postgraduate studies in hematology in London. She has worked at several leading national and international centers for hematology, including the Mount Hope Hospital, King's College Hospital, University College of London Hospital, and is currently at Royal Free Hospital, London. She has been actively involved with medical education throughout her career and has had formal roles in medical student teaching, most recently with students of the University College of London. She is passionate about the social aspect of hematology care. I would like to welcome to the podium Dr. Carolyn Maharaj.
Good morning, everyone. So, as my colleague Simone has mentioned, the next few sessions that we're going to do would be aspect of blood donation, and the aim is to improve understanding of the process. So, my topic today and what I will be discussing is a brief overview of what the donor screening questionnaire entails. So very briefly, the donor questionnaire, it comprises of a set of questions with the aim to basically capture relevant medical information about you, the blood donor, and your donation. It's a confidential questionnaire that helps to decide if you are eligible to give blood. This is a mandatory questionnaire that requires donors to provide accurate answers and includes questions that may be of a sensitive and technical nature, such as questions related to your health, social, and travel history. Donor qualification for eligibility is a dynamic process, and regulatory and accrediting bodies such as WHO respectively provide us guidance on what we include as best practice for our questionnaires. When we do these eligibility questionnaires, there are 4 main pillars that we're aiming to assess, and these are whether the donor is in good health, free from any transfusion transmitted diseases, free from any factors that would adversely affect donor health, and free from any factors that might affect the blood component that we collect. And how we assess this is through different mechanisms, and one of which is the questionnaire. We also utilize physical examination and blood testing as well. And you can see here that our questionnaire is actually quite important for all aspects of our pillars that we're looking to assess. So the donor screening questionnaire is basically a medical history assessment. And the process falls into assessment of whether the donor might have infections such as HIV transmitted recipients, but also very specifically whether there's anything that falls under the donor health to ensure that donor health is good. These interviews gather information about any possible behaviors that might have exposed the donor to certain diseases or the donor's past medical history. and relevant travel history as mentioned, which can be important for exposure to certain pathogens. And as we said, the questionnaire is one way to assess that. Information is usually gathered before the collection takes place, and this process begins with pre-donation materials, which we do actually have available on our Ministry of Health website. Prospective donors must be provided with information that they can review beforehand about donating blood and about what this process will entail. So I have here a little overview of what our screening assessment looks like on the Ministry of Health website. I've included the website at the bottom if anyone would like to have a look at it. Following on, the donor screening questionnaire at the donation site. Unfortunately, we don't have them printed today, but I do have them here so that we can just have a look at what that will entail. It does start with general demographic data, taking in basic information about the patient's age, the donor's age, their weight, and just their general health. It asks for information about whether the donor is well enough to donate on that day and any other relevant medical history. So what are the rights and responsibilities of the blood transfusion service with relation to blood donor screening? Our primary responsibility is to ensure a safe blood supply and to protect the health of blood donors and recipients. The rights and obligations for unsuitable donors is based on a risk assessment that's done on epidemiologic data. The blood transfusion service responsibility would include providing a safe and pleasant environment for blood donors. They are to be treated with respect and ensuring and assuring donors of the confidentiality of all personal information that they provide. The issue of confidentiality may be handled under the broad label of privacy. Notably, those will be related to health and exposure to certain transfusion transmitted risks. Having been on both sides of the blood donation procedure, both as a doctor and as a donor, I know there's anxiety about answering the questionnaire, but it couldn't be understated that these are done very confidentiality in a sensitive way, and all information must be sent very confidential. In the event of a deferral for any reason, there is no stigmatization of deferred donors or discrimination against them. Donor deferral can occur for many different reasons, and it's very important that everyone is aware that donor deferral can be done for, as we said, lots of different reasons, not necessarily related to risky behavior, may just be a factor on the day or otherwise. The maintenance of an adequate and safe blood transfusion supply begins with choosing the right donor at the right time. And we hope to improve and constantly improve the service. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Monroe. Next item on our schedule will be a guest speaker. Where is TTSHBT? She will bring the donation program. Nurse Bistoon has served as a senior nurse at blood donation center for over 15 years. As such, she has gained experience and works closely with regular donors, laboratory staff, and clinicians to help recruit and retain voluntary donors. She will speak this morning on the process of blood donation at our National Donation Center. We welcome to the podium.
Good morning, everyone here, especially Dr. Charles Highlander. I would like to I'm honored to be here to give you the donation process. I will first start with when the donor comes to the door. You can also start online. There's an online pre-screened question that Dr. Maharaj went through just now. The first 7 questions you can do it online. If you pass those questions, you can come to the blood donation center and then register. Or you can walk. If you don't want to do it online, you can walk. First, all COVID protocols are followed. You come in sanitize, take your temperature, then proceed to the receptions. If you go through the first 7 questions and you pass it, then you ask for your ID and the registration process starts. The same question should be done. The question have the paper shall find your name and then all that is filled out. And then person proceed to the area with hemoglobin test. Once you pass hemoglobin test, you then do the weight and height, and you are taken into a screening room which is comfortable. It is also confidential where nobody cannot hear the questions. The questions are very sensitive. So you are guided there by a RN, a registered nurse, who will give you the questionnaire with you. Some of the questions are very, we ask you to answer truthfully to protect yourself and the recipient of that blood. Now, during the screening, we observe donors who are scared. I want to assure you, donors, especially young ones, please do not be frightened. We are here to make sure you are safe and nothing's happening to you. Right? We also notice if you're afraid of needles or whatnot, we also have MLAC cream, which is an anesthetic cream we use. In the screening room, we pass the area just so you can take a needle and reduce the pain if it goes inside. We assure you also that we are going to hold your hand if you need to and be there to remove that pain. All is screened and you let the Dr. Maharaj will now explain some of the questionnaire you have to go through. The medical and surgical history we pass there. Then we answer, you must have proper meal, a good night rest, enough fluids to drink before you can proceed to the donation process. When you go to the donation room, I must assure you all the chairs that we use is always sterilized with alcohol before you sit. So you will not get COVID by donating blood. The needles that we use, everyone have their own needle. Every bag comes with their own needle. We don't steal from one donor to another. So rest assured you are not going to get any infection from the blood donation bag. Before you sit on the chair, we ask you, yeah, we ask you not to be scared. Again, if you have time to go, we ask you to loosen a little so you be comfortable. Then we sterilize the hand properly. So again, we make sure no infection goes into from that side. The blood donation process then starts, and we observe you during and post donation for adverse events. Nursing staff at all the centers are trained, and we are very capable of handling any effects of blood donation. In case of pain, I think we are well equipped and we are well trained that you are okay. We also ask you to come back after the donation. During the donation, we talk to you to make you comfortable. Right? A post donation, if everything passed okay, the donation is usually 5 to 10 minutes. You are ready. It's not long. I'm pleading with you all, don't be scared that you have to come and spend a full hour dripping one drop. It's not like that. It is quick, it is comfortable, and we are always there to reassure you and be there to make sure you are okay and come out in one piece. Some people pray that they be sick or they die, and that don't happen. We are well aware of your fear and we are there to make sure you choose that fear. I'm asking parents on the school because sometimes we ask school, we ask presentation fellows to send out guys to come to donate 18 years and whatnot, and they were nobody responded to come to get that blood and our. I'm speaking of parents, I am a parent and I know sometimes parents crying for their children and no he to speak or he to tell or she to small or pain. We ask the parents, please don't discourage the youth from getting blood. We are there to make sure they are okay and they are fit before they can go through. That's why we go through the screening process. you all encourage them and do something so nice, something to be proud of. Our young children are teaching school also when you go there to look for your jobs and whatnot, you can say, you can proudly say, I'm a voluntary blood donor, right? But all this I have to say again, I want to say thank you all for listening and have a nice day.
Thank you, Nurse Masood, for adding such a humanistic touch to the donation process. We would now like to welcome to the podium. We'd now like to welcome to the podium Mr. Gregory Alum. He is here to give us a talk with respect to the processing of the Mr. Gregory Alum is the Senior Medical Laboratory Technician with the San Fernando General Hospital's Transfusion Lab for more than 50 years. Over this time, Gregory has dealt with a wide variety of transfusion-related situations and challenges, while striving to meet the demands of one of our enthusiast RHAs. He has been intimately involved in the process of blood components and has offered to share with us a bit about the processing of components after a donated unit leaves the donation center. Please welcome to the podium.
Good morning, everyone. My job this morning to give you a small guidance on what happens after blood is donated. So basically, one unit of blood or pinch of blood that we report can monitor up to 3 persons. Why I'm saying that is that from that unit fresh frozen plasma, partially. These components will aid the life saving of patients due to whatever circumstance in the hospital that they require them to have. So, why we make who gets blood transfusion? Most times patients with low HB, patients with human trauma patients with any patients with low platelet counts, etc. These are the patients that we would focus the component making is a very, well, not very short, but kind of tedious when making. So what happens is when we get the unit of blood, for instance, we put it on a particular field for a particular time. The plasma that rises up of the blood will remain at the bottom of the bag. What we will do after this, bags that you collect the blood from, which we call satellite bag, well, donor bag, will have 2 satellite bags attached to it. And once we spend the blood at a particular speed and time, plasma rises up, we will more or less squeeze out the plasma and leave some plasma with the rest of the red blood cells, so that will continue to keep the red cells durable. After taking out the plasma from the red blood cells, we will then give it another spin again to separate the plasma with some platelets. And from those 2 bags, we derive with getting the fresh frozen plasma, which the plasma which will eventually freeze, and as a reason they will get fresh frozen plasma. and then with treatment to help with being a patient. Each component have a purpose. Consider one of the fastest way to have a patient. Then we have the plasma, like this world that has certain factors that will help to pull down bleeding in patients that have mass bleeding, etc. Then we have platelet aid in the clotting process. Then we have cry, which is patients such as hemophilia, well, like little small blood disorder, and that have problems with clotting. So in that process, we are lab technicians. We ensure that the blood that the patient will get safe and safe blood. That way that we will try most time to preserve the life of our patient. So basically, donating is a donating is a benefit. Therefore, we will advise people to go and see that.
Thank you, Mr. Long. Now we go on to invite. Now we're going to invite the Lions Club. I see Lions Club here, very much present. We would like to hear some words from that NGO as they have committed as well to voluntary non-remunerated blood transfusion. We welcome to the podium Ms. Khadija Chonshin.
Especially invited Tradition, President of the Arima Sanskrit Club. Please accept warm greetings on behalf of my membership. It is an absolute pleasure to be speaking today alongside my club service chief and Eastern Samuel on behalf of our club at this moment. The Arima Santos Alliance Club has been in existence since 1992 and is part of the worldwide movement Lions Club International, which comprises of 1.4+ million men and women operating in over 200 countries, working to empower their local communities. A priority action of our club's strategic focus at the beginning of my tenure was to conduct a community needs assessment, which would ensure that we develop programs and projects that reflect the needs of our clientele and the wider society. We want to ensure that as Lions, we help where help is needed. In determining the needs to the assessment, we made a decision to incorporate an initiative to promote blood donation within our. This type of initiative new to our guiding helps the shift brings our wealth of knowledge and expertise in this field. We are Arima Santos Alliance Club are grateful for the opportunity to be here today to commemorate this occasion. The announced plan change current blood donation practice in Trinidad and Tobago to the voluntary non-remunerated blood donation policy. I would like to formally declare our club's support of the voluntary non-remunerated blood donation. And now hand over to our club superintendent and Eastern Samuel, who would elaborate further on our support. Hey everyone.
I am Ms. Singh, I'm a third chair of the Arima Center Club. I'm also retired in medical laboratory technology. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is indeed a great pleasure to speak on this symposium platform this morning to say why I support voluntary, non-remunerated blood donation. Firstly, I would like to thank the Ministry of Health and Dr. Kelly Chavez, of course, for hosting. We all would recognize that blood transfusion is an essential part of the healthcare system. And blood needs to be safe, readily available, and reasonably used. Voluntary non-remunerated blood donation means the person gets blood for his from his own free will and receive no payment for it, either in cash or in kind. Safe blood starts with me and with you. As Mr. Allen said, one bag saved 3 lives. Voluntary non-remunerated blood donation are the cornerstone of a safe and sufficient blood supply. It is the first line of defense against the transmission of infectious diseases throughout the blood transfusion process. Informed and regularly, voluntary non-remunerated blood donation has demonstrated to be at lower risk for transfusion, transmission, and infection, and pay for family replacement donors. Access to safe blood transfusion from voluntary non-remunerated blood donation can save many lives. The World Health Assembly first addressed blood safety and considered this progress in obtaining blood has been safe in recent years. Despite an effort to an equitable access to safe blood and blood products, the use of blood transfusion remains a major challenge. The safest way to acquire blood is by taking blood from regular, voluntary, non-remunerated donors who have no risk in the population group. Blood cannot be manufactured, and we know this. Our fellow human beings are our only source of this life-saving product. In Trinidad and Tobago, just 20,000 units of blood are donated by members of the public every year. The World Health Organization recommends that we should collect 1 unit for every 20 persons every year, given the size of our population. This country needs about 70,000 units per year. That's why it is so important that each one of us gets a donate blood. Public awareness on voluntary non-remunerated blood donation should be encouraged. What radio talks, radio shows like this Symposium here. You know, it is the most broad and safest blood supply globally. Therefore, cheating in the supply of blood and its blood product from voluntary non-remunerated blood donors is an important national achievement of this country. And this is one of the reasons why I support voluntary non-remunerated blood donation. It is the safest way to obtain blood from those population. Once again, I would thank Dr. Kelly Charles and the Ministry of Health for allowing me to speak on this crucial point of voluntary blood donation. Thank you very much.
We'd like to thank the Lions Club for their commitment and the depth of understanding that they have of the issue and the need for non-remunerated blood transfusion, blood donations. I would like to give apologies on behalf of the Korean Lebanese Association. They have had an emergency and unfortunately cannot be here to share their viewpoint, but they would like to emphasize that they are committed to the cause of voluntary non-remunerated blood donation. Next, in place of them, we're going to have a representative, Miss Ira Mahadeo. She represented Movement for Dharmic Services. She's going to come and speak on their commitment as well. Please welcome her to the podium.
To our esteemed lecturers, doctors, distinguished guests, a pleasant good afternoon to each and every one of you. My name is Ira Maharu. I'm a second-year medical student, and I'm the current president of the MEDS organization for the year 2022 to 2023. It is an absolute honor for me to stand here today speaking with you all. MEDS is an organization made up of staff and students here at the Faculty of Medical Sciences, dedicated to the sharing of Indian culture and knowledge, and has grown significantly since our inception in 1989. And we have been partners with the UE Blood Donor Foundation for many years. The name MEDS is short for Movement for the Encouragement of Dharmic Services, and the very roots of our organization are established and strengthened from various Hindu philosophies. One of these philosophies is known worldwide as Dharma. In the Sanskrit language, Dharma comes from the Sanskrit root word dhar, meaning that which holds together. In every society, there's a set of laws or moral codes that we follow, which holds the civilization together. In the same way, Dharma is a set of laws or principles that guides every individual's life. It references religion, virtue, our duty, and righteousness. It is described as being the very foundation for how we should live life and how we should interact with people. It speaks about practicing compassion, kindness, and serving other people selflessly. I take you to the pages of the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, verse 47. I'm paraphrasing, but in this verse, Lord Krishna is speaking and he says, "Set thy heart on thy work and never on its reward. Do thy duty not for recognition, but because it is right." This verse very adequately describes the goal, the University of the West Indies Blood Donor Foundation, to give unselfishly in the service of other people, and promoting this through research, education, and example. Since the founding of the UEBDF, MEDS has and continues to support its initiatives. We believe that voluntary, non-remunerated blood donation aligns perfectly with this concept of dharma that we follow and selflessness. It is said that we have two hands for a reason. One is to help ourselves, the other is to serve people. Donating blood is a very generous act and can help improve the lives of patients in need. And we aim to encourage more individuals, especially our students and youths, to step up and give back to the community. We at MEDS are looking forward to the future with the UEBDF, and we hope to be able to serve many, many more people. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Mahayo, for your passionate support of the voluntary, non-remunerated blood donation. All right, next up, we are going to look at the patient perspective. We are going to invite to the podium Ms. Evelyn Rushford. Ms. Evelyn Rushford is one of our nation's educators who will talk to us on living with sickle cell disease. Please welcome her to the podium.
Isn't it great to be speaking after your student? Yeah, I am happy to be here today. I'm happy to be alive. I'm happy to be 63. I'm happy to be 63. And I don't know if I should say I'm happy to be a sickle cell survivor, ACS survivor, but here I am standing as a survivor. That which I was told after a survivor, I was told that that is the #1 killer of sickle cell. People, I'm 63 because firstly, as a child, I never knew I had sickle cell. It was only when I was 21 and in the cold of Wisconsin and got sick that a French doctor looked at me and he said, "But you have sickle cell?" I said, "Yeah." Because I grew up knowing that I was sickly. If it rained, I felt sick. If I played too much, I felt sick. If I went to the cinema, I felt sick. If I went to the beach, I got sick. So when even though and he said, "Well, you need to take care of yourself." So listen, when I came back and I read about it, people started saying, "You get married, you get married, and you're 40 years." Jeremiah 21 founded God, okay, right? But as you can see, I survived with the good help of people who supported me, my family, who would go into a crisis when I was in a crisis. Literally. My parents will turn down all music in the house and morning all day. I survived because in 2012, with acute syndrome, I went 3 times to a private medical institution. And the second time, I was slim, out of it. They could, well, you do the usual thing with sickle cell. You can't find your name, you don't know what to do. I remember when my sister came to look for me that afternoon, she didn't want to look at me in my face, right? Because they you know what's in there by then. And she was like, so being prodded and poked, and nobody knew what I had. Thank God for loudmouth friends, right? We have this friend who, when he came and he visited me, he said, "Again, this is not going to, I'm going to call you Dr. Charles." So he went out and he booked Dr. Charles because the goodly Dr. Charles don't like to come to private hospital. It's good. And from there, I moved out and went on to State Fire. Because every morning when he came with his team, he said, he is a man with a plan. I want you to understand that I realized at that point that some doctors don't know about sickle cell. Sadly, they don't know. They don't know how to treat sickle cell patients. I remember in the early years when I found the hematologist, which every sickle cell patient needs a hematologist in their life. And I found Dr. Wavely Charles, no family of Dr. Charles. They both, I had 2 hematologists by the same day, surname, child. And Dr. Charles would, when I reach into her office, if I that she's a favorite, I would go in the office and she would immediately take off the condition. You see what I'm wearing? I get cold and I feel like my bones. I'm sitting there and saying, you know, I don't get a crisis after this cold place. Yeah. And so we do that. And so we survive with people who know how to treat us. Sadly, they didn't know how to treat my sister in the US. In 2016, she passed away from sickle-related issues. So I'm telling you this because I want to tell you that in Trinidad, we have a group of people who are headed by Dr. Charles, who are very, very conscious of how to treat sickle cell patients, to give them their dues and to treat them. We need, like asthma and heart attacks and all you say, we're not joking when we say we're in pain. We're not joking when we say we can't walk in 5 minutes time. You know, people see, I remember one of my friends said, it was good just now. What's happening now? And I'm like, they don't realize we're not joking when we say that we are in feeling pain immediately. And so I am grateful for that. I am grateful for, as I said, being working. I'm grateful for being placed on hydroxyurea. To me, that has taken away the frequency of crises and the intensity of the pain. I wish the goodly Minister of Health was here, because I have a little plug for the type of hydroxy, the brand of hydroxyurea that they're giving out with CDAP. It didn't work in. You have to pay for the good ones. I am not on the CDAP program taking that hydroxyurea. I have seen what it has done to a friend of mine. And knew that I had to pay for it. Thank God I'm in a position to pay for the non-generic type of hydroxyurea. And we do pay. It's quite expensive. But if I want to live, and I also have a niece with sickle cell, and if I want her to live, I make sure I pay for the brand. Go to the place, make sure she has it. So just in case this goes out to the ministry and those involved with the CDAP program, help the sickle cell patient to get the best. The best. Like all other patients, get the best. Not the ones that will not be effective. So I am happy for hydroxy because, as you can see, it was only in 2012 when I had ACS that I realized that there was something that I could take. I was taking Panadol, which are working. I was taking Aleve, which are working. In bush medicine, people were running down. People still be in pain. But I'm telling you, when I was introduced by Dr. Charles to hydroxyurea, it gave me quality of life. Quality of life. People who have sickle cell, you understand. I lived up to that point every single day with pain. I never knew a day without pain. It's my skin bone, it will be my head, my hip, something. I never knew. So when I was given hydroxyurea from me, I think sickle cell patients should be given, keep saying this, the better. Not something that's not good, but when we take something we wanted to do, when we take something you wanted to do, I teach communication studies. And one of the things in module 1 of communication studies is the tools that the writer used to communicate. And therefore, if the tool is not effective, then not. So I'm hoping that people who suffer with suicide will get effective treatment.
Thank you, Mrs. Rushford. On the point of the inefficacy of the hydroxyurea, I would just like to advise that at public hospitals, if there is an adverse event associated with the drug, you can report to the ministry that's review those reports. So that's something that you can explore and for those patients that can't. Next, we have Mrs. Chanel Doyle. Mrs. Chanel Doyle is the caregiver. She's the mother of a child who has a hemoglobinopathy. So she's going to speak from that viewpoint. Our emphasis on sickle cell disease in this section has to do with the fact that these patients require frequent blood transfusions and as such may require frequent blood transfusions. As such, the replacement system never really works for them, right? So that just to emphasize for all of us that voluntary, non-remunerated blood donations are needed to meet the needs of this particular group and other groups that have similarly conducted blood transfusion. So we welcome now Michelle.
Good afternoon to all honorable mention. So as mentioned earlier, I am the mother of an 8-year-old. Nakoma Thompson is a full-fledged sickle cell patient. Nakoma has a history of a stroke, and he had the stroke at the age of 2. And recently he was diagnosed with a blood clot in his left lung, necrotic pancreatitis, and he's also a COVID-19 recovery patient. Now, there's a whole host of medical complications, somebody who is only 8 years old. Now, I want you to understand Nakoma before we go into this whole process for transfusion. Nakoma is a vibrant, confident, very sarcastic kid. When Nakoma walks into pediatric clinic, everyone to do his monthly transfusion and exchanges, Nakoma owns the hematology clinic. There isn't a person, a nurse, a doctor, an orderly who does not know Nakoma. This is the reason why we take what hematology does very seriously, and we take the donations that are provided to him. Hence my presence here today. Nakoma is an amazing child. The things that he has been through in his 8 years of life is something that a lot of us have never even dreamt of. My husband at the time and we never understood that when we decided to get pregnant, and he is a planned pregnancy, that we would be requesting blood donations, that we would be, seeking, blood transfusions on a monthly basis. So I just want to say firstly, kudos to the hematology team at the Eric Williams Medical Sciences Complex, because it's not an easy feat. I remember the first time when Dr. Green mentioned that Nakoma firstly had sickle cell, it was a whole discovery process for us, because I know I have the traits, but we never had anybody in the family who actually had full-blown sickle cell to the point where crises was something everybody looked at. So it was a learning curve for all of us. So by the time we realized Nakoma had sickle cell, it was a full-blown symposium at home. We sat everybody down, we told them, listen, so Nakoma situation, we're looking out for. So every beach run, every pool run, every family gathering, there is more than one family member who knows how to jump into action. So the doctors, nurses, educators, all in one. This is everybody in the family. So I want to say special mention, the team was mentioned earlier, because they really took the time to educate us. So from having a regular sickle cell child, we were then advised that Nakoma had a stroke at the age of 4, which required monthly transfusion. This is something completely new to us. We would have heard of all of the common myths about having transfusions and the viscous bulk and the crises that could potentially occur and contaminations and the world of things that would have gone against having a transfusion being done. But the team took their time to sit with us and explain these are the pros as well as the cons of having the transfusion done on a monthly basis. And if that wasn't enough to carry, we were soon advised, instead of having one access to the transfusion, we now had to get two. Anybody who knows Nakoma knows the challenge of getting one access in was enough. Was there trying to get this trial set down to do two access? But the team, as usual, made him comfortable, were able to successfully start blood exchange. And that brought about the whole awareness factor for us in terms of what do we do, how do we help him? And I've never been through half of what Nakoma is doing. And my role and our role as a family was to maintain that guidance, that confidence, that level of sarcasm that this little person has. And despite all of what he has to go through, being able to assist him to the best that we can and be there to support. So our role was to support emotionally and mentally. Don't get me wrong, Eric Williams Medical Sciences Complex and the hematology pediatric team, they have it covered. They have the medical side of it done. But our role was to make sure that he doesn't stand no about it. That level of sarcasm, that level of confidence, that awesomeness that he has that makes him him. Which means that when we do transfusions, our role is to make him as comfortable as possible. And part of that role is me being here today. It's an opening experience to me to learn about the background processes of what happens before he actually gets that kind of blood. We take it for granted that everyone that we show up at Mountain, that the blood is going to be there. But there will be situations where if this blood isn't available, what happens to him? So we have to do our part as a family, and we've been doing it. We've been asking our friends, family, co-workers, that we know to be part of the budget. And it's unfortunate that before we during the coma period, we would have never known. I mean, we lived in a society where we weren't even sure about transfusions. I mean, we knew about donations that we would have done if somebody got sick. But to say that we would have done it on a regular basis, it's not something that was natural to us. We had to be impacted first by him to understand the importance of doing blood donation, the importance of why it is your NGOs can do what you're doing, why Dr. Charles and they would have had studies, why Dr. Wade Charles would have done what they have done, because now these fellows and these NGOs, you guys, we would want to get. You know, we on a regular basis, we review media, we review newsletters, any research material to find a better way of life for him. Because at the end of the day, this is no almost 50 transfusion. And next month we'll be double. And we're going to be doing this for a long time. So we have to make sure that we educate ourselves enough, not just to share information for him, but to ensure that in the next couple of years, when he fills out the transfusion, that he has that already supply of blood available. So donations are very important. And that's why I'm here to tell you from his perspective. Without you guys, our support that is being offered, without symposiums like today's, there's no way we will be able to look Nakoma in his eyes and say, you know, he can have a long, fulfilling life. Sickle cell is not an easy disease. And it's unfortunate that as an 8-year-old has to do the extent of what he's had to do thus far. But the journey has only just begun for us. And without you guys, without the donations, without the education and the awareness, there's no way that we'll be able to continue going forward. So once again, from my home to you guys, we just want to say thank you, of course. Thank you to all those who are viewing and listening. We are fully supportive of all the donations, all of the media used to educate persons and the country about having to do donations. I mean, people always say, you know, why did they take him to the US or Canada where we first found out he was diagnosed and had to do transfusion? But we don't need to. We have the facilities right here. And as mentioned earlier, I mean, we have the expertise, we have the support of the government, we have the support of the NGOs. We just need to make sure that we do our part individually to ensure that the process will continue effectively. So on behalf of Nakoma, that 8-year-old, that vibrant, that person that has been so much already, we just want to say thank you and to ask for the continued donation and continue. Have a good one.
Thank you, Mrs. Doyle Thompson, for sharing with us the importance of having an equitable system where those who need blood get blood. Okay? So moving right along, we have the relative of a patient in need of a life-saving blood donation. She's one of ours. Her name is Dr. Melissa Friday. Dr. Melissa Friday is an undergraduate of the University of the West. She recently completed specialization in the United Kingdom at the Sheffield Teaching Hospital. She's interested in furthering hematology care locally and regionally. Welcome to the podium, Dr. Melissa Friday.
Good afternoon. So I was asked to speak today because I think it's an assumption that's made by the public that as doctors, we shouldn't go to the other thing, that we are always just there telling you, go get blood donors, that we're not in that situation. So with the permission of my sister, what happened is that following her delivery, she had an emergency, and it was the night of December 22, so going into Christmas Eve morning, and we were told to get 3 donors. Now, on paper, my sister, she's one of 6. She's married. She has, 6 people under the age of 40 that should be able to donate blood for her. And at that point, 3 of us were abroad. My brother had COVID. Her husband had recently gotten a tattoo, so it's a temporary deferral to blood donation. And we had one sister that was available to donate blood on her behalf. Now, it's a thing that people always say, well, I don't send people, so should I need blood? I'll have 10 people to go and donate for me, but that doesn't happen because on Christmas Eve morning, we were stood there where we're going to get these 3 donors. And I mean, luckily for us, she had a favorable outcome. But in that situation, that's not always the case. And I think it's very important that the Ministry of Health has to move from a CHIP system to voluntary non-remunerated blood donation, because we need to take the responsibility off of relatives. We need to remove that guilt off of relatives, that if your relatives should die or have an unfortunate outcome, it is not your fault that you won't be able to find 3 donors on the day. So I hope that this does inspire people to come out and be voluntary non-remunerated blood donors, because that is the future for our country. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So we are about to wind down. We have 2 more items on our agenda. We're going to ask Dr. Kavita Ramlochan to come to us and speak with respect to the spelling common donation. Dr. Kavita Ramlochan serves as the covered hematologist at the San Fernando General Hospital. She works closely with the Donation Center, Transfusion Lab, and clinicians to ensure safe transfusion for persons needing blood products. She will speak today on the misconceptions and myths associated with blood donation. Please welcome to the podium, Dr. Kavita Ramlochan.
Ladies and gentlemen, dear colleagues, potential voluntary non-remunerated donors, potential recruiters of voluntary non-remunerated donors, and non-remunerated donors, and anyone else that's in our audience this evening. And thank you for allowing us to discuss this very, very important topic. It is important because these myths that are associated with blood donation and the donation process, even though it's been mentioned before, a lot of what I'm saying with repetition, it's really important to reinforce, because these are the barriers to recruitment of donors, and these barriers can easily be broken down by sharing our knowledge. And if we share our knowledge, even if we're not eligible to be a donor, we share our knowledge within the communities, it would be able, I think, to run. I think that targets of 20,000 voluntary non. So Dr. Charles, I am fascinated with the history that surrounds blood transfusion and the blood donation of blood transfusion. And I do appreciate your presentation and your interest in it. Just from my understanding, I might be maybe a bit maybe oversimplifying, but I see that in the past, the blood transfusion services have been very closely linked to times of war. And even though in some societies it may have been started off as non-altruistic, where there was some sort of compensation. I've even read, I may be wrong, but I've read that if you have a unit at some point in time, you'd be allowed to be spot work to 6 days. But during these times of war, I think images such as this would have been portrayed, I imagine, and would have rallied and brought a sense of duty, a sense of patriotism, and a sense of need that you would need to rally around your troops and save your country in terms of becoming an altruistic or non-remunerated blood donor. And I think within this time period, it may have contributed to the switch or the growth of that sort of donation model. And for reasons that you thought it certainly did not catch on in trauma in our country. And I think it's really important that we understand that, because we've been doing, and I appreciate that I'm not trying to be negative, but I think it's important that we acknowledge that it's not okay, as we've heard from the previous speakers, it's not okay to ask relatives to be taught to provide donors. It's not okay, and sort of become used to it and normalized to some degree that it's probably a bit difficult for some to understand the change that's needed. So as a clinician, I find that some things I might have taken for granted, general perception, I may have taken these things for granted. It's not personally may not understand this concept. And I'm just going to touch on a few points. It's 12 minutes, but I'll be very brief because it's been spoken about before quite nicely in the previous presentation. So the first myth had been that the chip system the recent part of the system that we had adopted works well. And I think for many reasons, as we had discussed before, because it's impacted on our safety, on our reliability of supply, and not to mention the massive burden that placed on donors, these vulnerable persons in society, not donors, patients and patients' relatives, the burden that we place on them. All these things put together must be compelling for us to want to change the system. And I'm really happy to be a part of this and be a part of this drive towards voluntary, non-remunerative donations. So second, first couple of myths are actually linked to the chip system, and we hopefully will have to not have this problem in the next 2 or 3 years. Hopefully this will be a thing of the past. But for now, I think it's important for potential donors to understand that blood is not guaranteed with the chips. So if you've had your surgery, everything's gone well, you've got to donors before surgery, it's gone well, you just need a blood transfusion, but then you've got these chips that you give this doctor, and you get this feeling now that I should get this unit of blood. And it does impacts on the psychology of patients as well as their relatives and the relationship with doctors as well. So I think it's important for us to understand, or potential donors to understand that with this chip system, it's not guaranteed. It's also important to understand that blood donated for named persons that you put on that chip, it's not actually going to be given to that person. We take it for granted. I mean, most of us probably are aware of this, but I think the general public are not. They believe that if the donor is group O, then we should have group O for my relative, and they, have that feeling that if they've provided a certain group and we can't source that group readily, there's something going to miss. So it's important to understand for, I think, our potential donors or those that would be trying to recruit donors. I think it's important to share the knowledge that this is not the case, and that the provision of blood is given based on necessity, priority, availability, and of course the safety
aspect is whether or not the unit is compatible for that particular need. And I think this number 4 is a really, really important myth that we have touched on before, and that is that direct donations from a sibling is paid. So oftentimes patients may think that, okay, I'm afraid of getting some sort of illness from a blood transfusion, but my sister is the same group as me. Can I not have her blood? And this is actually the opposite. It's very unsafe. In our public donation centers, we do not have this practice there. We do not encourage it. We have a big enough pool that a unit that's even given from your sister is unlikely to be given to you. And the safety aspect is simply this. You can have serious transfusion associated graft-versus-host reaction with a unit sourced from a close family member, and that's why we would discourage it. And we would encourage donors to come into our public donation centers where we'll be able to have a nice big pool of blood to prevent this from happening. The fifth myth that I came up with is that public donations cannot be used for private patients, and this is untrue. Our public services, we do provide blood for private as well as public patients. It is a commodity that cannot be bought, and we base the provision, as I mentioned before, based on priority and supply safety. The sixth myth that I came up with, I believe Dr. Maharaj would nicely touched on it. It's the importance of being honest with that questionnaire. We spoke about several times. It's not that the blood is going to be tested for viruses in any event, so you don't pay attention to the questions asked because it may be a seemingly insignificant question, but it does have disastrous outcomes. For example, if you've had a dental procedure within the last 3 days, you may have that temporary or transient bacteria that would probably be harmless to an ordinary person, but can be disastrous to an infant, a small child, or someone immunocompromised. So I think it's very important for our potential donors to be aware of this. I think I'm badly, but blood, we all know blood cannot be paid. It happens still. But this will be a thing of the past, I'm sure, within the next two years. So the following myths are related to donors. Many times donors may feel that they're too old to donate, or they've got some illness, or they're unmet and they can't donate. So we do have criteria by which we would include donors, and age is not it's not a referral. We would do a physical exam and a general health check, as well as that questionnaire, and look at the donor to decide whether or not it's safe or not to donate. Recently, we've made our donations very convenient. We've had online bookings, we've created convenient parking spaces, and we've encouraged feedback that our donors would help us to improve the system so we can facilitate them better and make them and have them have a much better experience. This is an important myth that some donors actually think that they can get these details from the that they're being stuck with. Now, as had reassured, these procedures are done based on evidence and training in terms of how we clean, how we don't clean, what we clean with. We use sterile equipment, single use, and it's very hygienic. And we do have coverage by our nurses as well as medical staff in the event that something can go wrong. And it's also important for donors to come back into us or contact us if they've had post-donation illnesses, meaning if you donated today but then tomorrow or the following day rash or you've had some sort of illness that may affect the unit that you donated to let us know. And I think these last 2 minutes, I really want to say that that these are very important. One donor can make a massive difference. One donor could be recruited, one donor can be reassured, and one donor could continue retaining and save
up to 3 lives with each donation. And I think once we get this attitude, this knowledge out there, we would be able to get business to commit and meet that target. And I truly believe that 100% altruistic donations is achievable in our society. It is, we are an altruistic society. And I think it's just to get that knowledge out there and recruit and retain our donors. So really just to summarize, the past system has its drawback, and the system of voluntary non-remunerated blood donors is achievable by sharing our knowledge and using this as a motivator to recruit and retain donors. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ramlochan. So now we have our last donor highlights. This group is not on the program, but they have volunteered to come and speak. The person is Mr. Jonathan Salamot. He is a member of the Intervarsity Christian Fellowship, another non-governmental organization that has committed to voluntary, non-remunerated blood donation.
Hello and good afternoon, everyone. All protocols observed. I am Jonathan Salamat, a medical student, and I am pleased to bring greetings on behalf of the Intervarsity Christian Fellowship of Mojo, IBCF Mojo chapter, who has been a close partner to the UP Blood Donor Foundation since 2011, providing volunteers in its blood donation camps. At IBCF Mojo, we are a diverse group of medical sciences students who come together to explore our faith and our spirituality. We are a community in which everyone is welcome, and where we engage in open discussion and conversations mostly centered around the life and teachings of Jesus. And we are proud to stand here today in support of voluntary, non-remunerated blood donation in Trinidad and Tobago. Our belief is that God has commanded us to love others. And one of the most simple ways to love is by helping when we see someone in need. Whether it is our time, money, or energy given to help someone in need, such as becoming a voluntary non-remunerated blood donor, we find that helping others is a blessing to ourselves. As one of the doctors would have mentioned, there are benefits to donating blood. Moreover, with the known shortage of blood supply in Trinidad and Tobago, voluntary non-remunerated blood donation is needed, and it can be viewed as an act of brotherly or neighborly love. Noting that we are commanded in Proverbs chapter 3, verse 27 to 28, and it reads, "Do not withhold good from those to whom it is due, when it is in your power to act. Do not say to your neighbor, 'Come back tomorrow, and I will give it to you,' when you are ready to have it with you." We must be committed to being neighborly with one another in order to do it. Let us recommit to that deeper good as we continue to raise awareness of the importance of BNRBD, and as we ourselves answer the call to become donors. We at IBCF Mojo are encouraging all to become voluntary non-remunerated blood donors, as this is part of our ministry to others in the name of Christ, who gave his life so that we may have life in his goodness. Scripture tells us that we reap what we sow, and that they are blessings for those who seek a life of serving and loving others. Want you all to be encouraged today to go make a difference. IBCF Mojo stands ready to be part of the journey to 100% voluntary, non-remunerated blood donation in Trinidad and Tobago. We would like to thank the Ministry of Health, the Trinidad and Tobago Society for Hematology and Blood Transfusion, the Faculty of Medical Sciences, UWI St. Augustine, and Dr. Kenneth Charles, who is without a doubt a pioneer for VNR in our country, for the opportunity to speak today, and we look forward to partnering together in the future to achieve this. As I end today, be inspired to be Christ-like, become a voluntary blood donor today. Thank you.
So thank you, and it's very reassuring to know that the tenets of voluntary non-remunerated blood donation align so closely with our faith traditions as well as personal belief. All right. So for this last bit, we have a question and answer. If there's anyone who has any burning questions that they would like to ask of any of the speakers of the last section, you can do so via raise of hand. So if you are listening online and you have a question, now is the time to type. We would like you to have a mic. Come down, we have a mic here because the people online need to hear you as well. Thank you so much. Now I have to speak at the Dr. Joseph, one of the postgraduates in pathology training. It is a simple question to relate. Asha, here's Asha, this one is right. Miss Asha, I will hear from our representative from the speaker from England, who also and discuss during the donation process. It sounds like you will have a very well put together units. Is that I feel like that is available for local population. I'm speaking for San Fernando, and I think all the donation centers in Trinidad and Tobago. The Minister have made sure all the donation centers are almost the same and very conducive for comfort and donation. The staff is very well trained, humble, caring, reassuring, and I must invite people public who can do it. Please come. You'll meet a very warm and caring staff, and you'll enjoy donating and have a nice time in our blood bank. Thank you. Thank you. Is there also a doctor on the site to deal with any complications? We don't have a doctor on site in the blood bank itself, but we have Dr. Ramruchan, Kavita Ramruchan, they cover the blood bank. So in case we have an incident, we do call them, and if they are very, very busy, someone may come and not accidental emergencies always available, and the doctor do respond. Anything else? Thank you very much. Any questions online? No, no. Dr. Charles?
Thank you. Two things. I think from the agreement, can provide
Yes, we would like to work with one if provided. We would want to be sure that we meet all of the requirements to systematically recruit blood donors and donors. And so we're willing to work with any qualified institution to partner and as part of our community outreaches if we do routinely, we can include blood donation as well. So we are open to push back.
I was very grateful for going on.
Yes, well, we are very eager to partner.
Yes, because somebody was just donating that application. Of course, because training. Donated blood and the can't now look at that today, I have to say, with wonderful experience. The online appointment actually works. Updated the team, adapted that. Smooth and easy process. On that hour, the head of my appointment submission. Very good. So thank you very much for that.
Okay, so we are about to close. We are going to invite the lady for me to the podium, where she will be giving the vote at once. All right, so let's welcome Dr. Melissa Travis. She presents her own. The results of the refreshments award. There's generally no eating in the auditorium, but you're encouraged to move around outside. We have a few chairs available for those who like to sit. So, Dr. Melissa Travis, just a note, we have some people who are interested in the item, in the video of this entire symposium. So I have a video recording this. Maybe that is so good. Okay. But, all right. Thank you.
Good afternoon again. It is my privilege to bring thanks on behalf of the Trinidad and Tobago Hematology Society for Hematology and Blood Transfusion. We would like to thank our partners in this event, the University of the Western DC Western Campus, the Men's Science Faculty, as well as the Ministry of Health. So our featured speakers, the Minister of Health, Mr. Terence Housing, and our invited speakers, Professor Roberts and Professor Clark. We would like to express our gratitude to all the speakers who took the time out of their busy schedules to commemorate this progressive change by the Ministry of Health to move from a CHIP system to voluntary non-remunerated blood donation. We'd like to say thanks to all the non-governmental organizations that have extended their support to this cause. We would also like to thank our corporate sponsors who, without their contributions, this event would not be successful. We thank you all for attending today, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow.
Hello, someone left the tablets. Okay, good. We found the owner.